Do you want to know how to motivate a child with ADD? Well, a lot of people want to know that. In fact, I get tons of questions about children that are non-neurotypical because of the history that I have doing treatment foster care for a lot of teens between the ages of 12 and 18 who were non-neurotypical. And in this video, we are going to help you understand how to motivate children with ADD. So in this video, we're going to talk about how ADD impacts motivation. That's important for us to understand. And then I would like to share with you some key things that you can do to help ignite that motivation in your ADD child. All right, it's important to understand ADD a little bit. So attention deficit disorder doesn't just mean that a person gets distracted all the time, although that can be one of the symptoms of attention deficit disorder. And because of that distraction, they don't get on task doing what they should. But oftentimes, because people get distracted easily, it also makes it so that a person with ADD gets overwhelmed a lot. And when they get overwhelmed, they lack motivation. So many people with ADD also end up having depression. They start feeling like they're not successful at things that they're doing because they have a hard time focusing in. There are multiple symptoms. Sometimes we see laziness, or we think we're seeing laziness because a person has given up. They've thrown in the towel. Oh, I can't do this anymore, is how they start to feel. And if that's the case, if your child is experiencing those symptoms, then you could see why maybe they just have chosen not to care anymore. They've tried. They can't focus. It doesn't speak to them. They don't attach well to it. Now they think they're a broken person. So they're overwhelmed by it because it's too hard to do. And now they're depressed. And everybody in the meantime is just saying they're lazy or they won't try. But they think they have been trying. But they don't know what they don't know. They need help. They need skills. They need someone to break it down into step-by-step processes so that they can actually succeed. And I know about that because that's exactly the type of child that I worked with when I did therapeutic treatment care in my home for a number of years. So let's ask ourselves, with all of this stress that a person with attention deficit disorder is experiencing and possible depression and everything else too, can they be motivated? Should we even be suggesting that they get motivated? The answer is yes. Why would we keep a person in a place where they don't feel comfortable? Why would we keep a person in a place where they feel like a failure? The best thing that a person with ADD can do is see that they can do it. And they need someone to help them get to that place because they think they can't, when in reality there's more they can do than they're realizing, because that overwhelm is starting to shut them down. But if we can help ignite them and take them forward to a success, maybe one success after the next success, then they will actually start to thrive. And so this is where our skills come in. The skill development and using those skills in small doses helps them find success. Soon they can succeed in a much larger scale in ways they never thought they could. Now we're going to talk about how to scale the skills and what skills to be using for your child that has ADD to help them be motivated. But before we do, I hope this channel is interesting to you. I hope it's so interesting to you, in fact, that you will subscribe to it. When people subscribe to this channel, they get more help and other people find out more about the channel. That's how YouTube works. You click subscribe, they tell more people about your channel. So that's why everyone tells you to subscribe. If you really like it, will you please subscribe? So I had a foster daughter who had ADD as well as some other things too. She had anger control issues and all kinds of stuff. And she was really ready to just give up on everything. Everything she would try, she would kind of like halfway finish, right? And then she would feel bad about it and beat herself up about it. And when we would try to help her focus on the task, she would just start to feel even worse. And I recognized that she wasn't having enough success to know that she could do it, that she could make herself stick to something. And so I realized, okay, she's got ADD, so let's simplify this. So we simplified our approach because of the ADD and made things more step by step for her. And suddenly she was thriving. Suddenly she was teaching other youth that came to our home how to do certain skills. Suddenly she had confidence. She knew that she could do more than she thought she could before. That's where a person with ADD can get to if you're willing to have the patience to work through things with them. Many times when parents give instructions to their children, they give this big list. I need you to clean your room, make your bed, get dressed, do your morning chore, do whatever. For an ADD child, that is like, okay, I just got overwhelmed. I'm stressed now. I don't know what to do. Everything's firing wrong and my brain is not working. Because that's literally what's happening to an ADD child. Like that's too much, right? So instead, you say, hey, I have an instruction for you. Now, do they know how to follow an instruction? The answer is yes, because I have taught them how to follow an instruction. And we start with just one. Then we move on to the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, you see. So if there's a list of 5 things to do, we're going to do one instruction, check back. Second instruction, check back. And we're going to keep doing that process so that they only have to stay focused for short spurts of time. And then they get the praise in between every separate instruction that happens so that they can see they have done it. If you're not praising your children enough, you might be having too long of lists, or you're not thinking to praise, which is a whole other thing. So let's talk a little bit about following instructions. This book here, London LaRae Says Okay, teaches the skill following instructions. So I have 4 children's books that teach the 4 basic skills that a person needs for self-government, and they take care of 99% of the behaviors. So when a person learns to follow instructions, they know 5 things. They can look at the person with a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, do the task immediately, and then check back. So I've taught this to my children ahead of time. I've also taught them the skills for how I will correct them if things go wrong. They also know how to accept a consequence, accept no answers and criticism, and disagree appropriately if they want to talk to me about something that they think they shouldn't have to do right then. Well, anyway, I teach them how to follow instructions, and then I say to them, I'm going to give you an instruction. Do you remember how to follow an instruction? And when I do that, they say yes. You look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, do the task immediately, and then check back. Then I praise them. Right then, they just did something. They remembered how to do it. And you know what? If they don't remember, no problem. I have cue cards. I have cue cards that I was using, that I could give them cue cards. I have charts that teach them how the interactions are going to go. I have all the visuals that they need if they don't remember. But just asking them if they know the skill once they've already learned it is a success. Now, if they succeed at the skill, even better. But if not, I'm ready and it's no big deal. I'm never going to act like it's a big deal. This is an important thing. You've got a child with ADD, they're already beating themselves up. So don't you beat them up. You've got to have calmness. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to have the skills for correcting so that you can feel connected to them, because you should feel closer to your child during and after a correction than you even did before. So now you've taught them what they need to know. Now it's time for them to take personal responsibility, right? They're going to succeed more because you're going to make it less tasks at a time that you're going to be giving them. Okay, so now what do? Now we're going to have a parent counseling session just about you staying focused. Now I talk about how to have a really good parent counseling session with your child in my book, Parenting a House United. So you'll want to look up that book and make sure that you get yourself a copy. So when a person has that parent counseling session, they're going to say, all right, so this is the situation that we have. We have a hard time staying focused, at this time of day or when this happens. I wonder why that is, or what could we do to make a change there? How about I start giving small instructions just to go and put the backpack away and have you check back, and then to put your shoes away and then have you check back. So we can plan to do all of these things ahead of time so that the child is prepared to do all of the instructions when the time comes. And then, of course, we're going to correct them and let them know how they did. But another really important part of this parent counseling session is to set up a positive motivation system for the child. Not just things you'll correct or negative consequences they'll earn. Now, that's important too, but also that there are positive consequences for when they actually follow through. So you might want to say something like, you know how you've been wanting to go go-kart racing? And I think that would be fun too do. It's kind of a big thing, but I think we should work toward it. I've got this jar here, and we're going to put beans in it. Every single time you follow all the way through on a task, on an instruction, and I praise you, we're going to put 5 beans in the jar or 1 bean in the jar. And when this jar is filled, then we will go go-kart racing. Wow, now suddenly that sounds so awesome. So focus on the positive, not just the negative. Teach them what they need to know. Super important, and help them succeed by scaling it back a little, making the instructions smaller and more incremental as they get their task done instead of throwing a ton of things at them. Will there ever come a time where they can do big long lists of things? Yes. Could it be more difficult for them just overall? Yes. But they'll get there. Their brains will mature. They'll be able to process more information as time goes by. So don't worry, just keep holding up your end of the bargain, doing the teaching that you are supposed to do. I want to help you with that teaching. I want to help you be a really safe place to make mistakes. And so I have a Calm Parenting Toolkit that I am giving to everybody on this channel for free right now. There's a description section below this video. So if you click the description, it will open up and there's links there. There is a link that says teachselfgov.com/toolkit. Click on that link right now and you can get the Calm Parenting Toolkit for free for a limited time. This is a great way to start learning self-government. So click on the link now. I'll see you there.